Good morning, boys and girls, and good afternoon if you are in the afternoon sessions today. We're going to try something a little new here and post a video to your Canvas so that you can get the mini lesson for Vocabulary Finder from me. So I'm going to do a little screen switching here so you can see what I need you to see. So here we are. I'm sharing with you right now what the Vocabulary Finder sheet looks like. So when you get your sheet today, of course, you will put your name, and if you would put the title, and the chapter that we're going to use is chapter 10 today. Your directions for the Vocabulary Finder are very simple. You need to, as the role of the Vocabulary Finder, you will be looking to enrich the vocabulary and find new words in the story and write about what they mean based on the context of the story. You should have 3 words. The words should be words that are unfamiliar to you, and they should be words that you will teach to the group. The final thing that you will do is you will create a visual for one of your words for our display. So I'm going to use, for you today, I'm actually going to use not chapter 10, I'm going to use chapter 9 that you've already read. And I have chosen a few words from the chapter that I'd like to share with you that I would use if I were the Vocabulary Finder. As I read, and so as you read today and you're reading chapter 10, you will want to jot down page numbers and the word when you come across them and you hear those unfamiliar and interesting words you think are worth stopping and finding out what they mean and teaching them to the rest of your group. So my first word is actually from page 89. I'm going to show you the book here quickly. So on page 89, it talks about the Mr. Beaver telling the kids about that the White Witch wasn't really human at all, but half a djinn and half a giantess. So I'm going to use that word djinn. So on my page, I'm going to very neatly, I'm going to write the word djinn, and it was capitalized in the book, so I'm going to capitalize it on my paper. And page 89. When I'm doing my work, I need to quote the sentence from the book. And since it says quoted, that means we're going to use quotation marks to show that we're copying right from the book. Now, this word here is a little different in that the word is right here, and the sentence starts way on page 88. So that would be an awful lot of copying. So what I have to do is I have to find a place in the sentence that will allow me to copy from that point, and still make it make sense. So I'm going to go right here where it starts with the White Witch wasn't really human. And I'm only going to do that for sentences that are extremely long. So I'm going to copy exactly from the book. If the word is capitalized, if the word is capitalized, I got to fix that. Because, when I talk, I can't write and talk. So this might be a little challenge for me. But if the word is capitalized, you must capitalize it in your quote. So you'll need to have the book write it with you as you're copying from the book and you're quoting. So give me a moment and I will do that. So the White Witch wasn't really human. I look at my book to make sure I have the words. I'm following along in my book at all. But half a djinn and half a giantess. And at that point in the book, since the sentence continues to go on, because this is such a long word, it's a comma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to finish ending with my quotation mark. Okay. Then I'm going to need to use a dictionary or dictionary.com, and I'm going to need to come and find a definition that matches my word and the way that it's used in the book. And when I looked that up, I found that it means a mythical spirit, or like a genie, okay, capable of appearing in human form, which is why the witch looks like she's human, but she's not. Okay. Another word that I have chosen as an example for you is on page 92. So I'm going to show you where that's at. On page 92, I got to find it. It starts right here where it says, I can make it bigger for you too. It seemed to be all towers, little towers with long pointed spires on them, sharp as needles. Spires. Because I wanted to know, really, what are they on a castle, on the witch's house? So again, I'm going to go to my page, my work page here. I'm going to copy the word spires on page 92. And again, I'm going to quote that sentence exactly as it is. And this one's not that long, so I'm going to copy the entire sentence. So it seemed to be all towers. And then there is a semicolon in the book, so I'm going to put a semicolon there. Little towers with long, pointed spires on them. Then there's a comma. Sharp as needles. Okay. And again, I would go to my dictionary and I would look up what spires are, and I would write my definition. When I finished that, I would come down here and I would choose a third and final word. And today I've chosen centaurs on page 96. And again, I would go to the book. I would copy it exactly with, oops, I forgot. Look what I forgot. Quotation marks at the end. So I'm going to start with my quotation marks. I'm going to end with my quotation marks. And then I'm going to look for my definition. Now, I didn't take time to write that all out in front of you, so I'm not using up all of your time. But the final thing that you would then do as the vocabulary finder is I would choose one of my words, okay, and I would decide which one do I think that I want to include up on our vocabulary display on the wall. And I'm going to create one of our visuals to add to the wall. So what I have done is I have created one for the word djinn. So I've got my word nice and big here on a piece of paper, a mythical spirit or genie capable of appearing in human form. All right. So now you can read chapter 10 and find 3 words of your own choosing to teach to your group. Hope you enjoy.